Welcome back to StoneBlock, and you'll see I've started to basically at least do the floor with the white concrete. Makes me able to run around, and I'm obviously confined in the farm so I don't keep getting thrown all over the place. What have we got in here? Is it filled up yet? It's getting fairly full. I'm just going to grab all of that. I think I'll probably arrange this to be automatically input into the system fairly soon anyway, so I don't have to worry about going collecting stuff much anymore. Let me just get that all out of my inventory. And we'll carry on with the episode. Today, I think we're going to try and head over to the end and try and kill the dragon over there. To get that done, however, I'm going to need a ranged weapon. I've got a melee weapon, fair enough, but not a ranged one. If you remember last episode, we made this premium armor, and that's all well and good, but I'm going to want a few things. One is I want to be able to get back, and that means I want to have a dislocator pedestal and dislocators. So why don't I make I've already made one. I'm going to make another two. Dislocator. Locate, yeah, there we go. I'm going to make 1, 2, I don't think they'll stack, nope. And we're going to make 3 because I want to also make one of these advanced dislocators. This is what I was thinking of when I was upgrading the tier of injectors last episode, or at least at the end of last episode. I'm going to want some Draconian Ingots, some Ender Pearls, and a Wyvern core. So let me just actually make another Wyvern core. I'm going to need to make a few of these. Let's just make 5 of them. Just so I can make a Wyvern core. There we go. And Draconium and Ender Pearls. Let's actually just get a few. In fact, I'm going to take a stack. We're going to use those as fuel. So it's good to be able to do that. I've also got some Draconium, so we can go over there and craft the better version. So why don't we go over there and check. And I've upgraded the rest of those injectors, so they're all Wyvern core level now, or Wyvern level now. One of our evolved Enderman friends. I've put the cable underground and put the conduit facade to block these out. I haven't used them in this series, but if you don't know what conduit facade is, just look up facade. Very straightforward to make. Oops, better look up conduit facade because there's a lot of other facades. Yep, you just make it with conduit binder and you put it in a painting machine and you put it with any other block and it'll disguise it. So if I just go to my Yeta wrench, and you'll be able to see there is actually underneath there all the power cable. And in one corner I've also got there it is. I've got the flux point underneath, which is why everything is nice and neat. So that's pretty fine. I've also made an unbreaking one that is just a Nether Star. That just helped me make the stuff in the base. Unbreaking one is very straightforward. You just point it at a block, and if you have the same blocks in your inventory, you can basically extend them outwards. So let's just put in 3 of the Ender Pearls. You notice I've got up to 10 now. I think that's the maximum you need. It might be nice at some point to have 12 because that just makes things a bit more symmetric, but in the meantime, it's not a problem. We're going to put the dislocator in the middle. There we go. And then we just need 3 of the Draconiums. So let's put them on this side. The Wyvern core. And what was the last thing? Charm? No, not the charm. Dislocator. 3 Ender Pearls, 4 Draconium. There we go. So put you there and start. That might take a while. Oh my. What's the actual recipe calling for? 8 million RF. Okay. While that's going then, I also want to look at the upgrade options because we want to probably go for the Draconic bow. I think at least that's what I'm going to try with to start with. That's the bow of the Wyvern. Okay. The bow itself is relatively simple to make. This Wyvern energy core is just some Draconium and Draconic cores. But by default, it does not do a lot of damage. It's like 0.1 attack damage. So we need to actually upgrade it. And we do that using upgrade keys. And I think there are only 3 that affect, well, there's RF capacity, I suppose. But there are 3 that really affect things. We've got arrow damage, we've got draw speed, and we've got arrow speed. So in arrow damage, we can make, again, this quite simply. But if we right click this, you'll see that it uses other things. So if we move up to the Wyvern tier, you'll see we've got Wyvern cores and Draconic cores. Again, all kind of things that we can actually get quite simply. Third tier Draconic, requiring the next tier up of injectors. You see how much actual power it takes? 256 million RF. Even this one is 4 million RF, so it will take a little bit of time for me to upgrade yeah, in fact, hang on. Yeah, there we go. A little time to upgrade even that bow. But it is possible. And then, of course, we've got the arrow speed, second tier. All the same kind of ingredients. And the draw speed, i.e. how fast we can pull the bow back and let it go. Again, all the same kind of ingredients. And what I don't know is how many of these upgrades you can actually apply to the Draconic bow. Maybe it's just one. Yeah, looks like one for each thing. So we can upgrade it for 4 different times. And then we can also think about actually enchanting it on top of that. So we can put soulbound. So if I die, well, we get it back essentially. Infinity, so that I think we don't need to use any arrows at that point, or at least just one arrow. It shouldn't run out. And there's other bits and pieces that we can actually apply. Poisoning, power, punch, flame, yeah, withering, and then just shimmer. Yeah, all the same kind of things. So that is another option again. What are you actually... Oh, that's the actual upgrade to the Draconic bow. But that needs Awakened Draconium, which needs us to kill the End Dragon. So we have to actually get through that process as it is. Why don't we take a look? 27%. Okay, and why don't I just have a look at how much power that's drawing from our main capacitor. The main capacitor may actually be empty. So hopefully that will have kicked on our... So much faster. Are you actually draining or are you gaining? You are gaining because I can hear it already. Our melon power has activated behind the scenes and it's cycling, but it's still actually gaining. So yeah, bear in mind, however, the energy conduit that we're using over at the injectors is only the red tier, so it can't transfer too much energy. If it did, it would just drain that capacitor, assuming that the wireless network can actually deal with it. So let's just make the bow of the Wyvern while everything is going. I think I've already chunk loaded everything I need to over there. So there is our bow of the Wyvern. And it's already charging because we're in our base, of course. So that may be drawing some of the capacitors. Power. Yeah, that looks like it's pulling that down significantly. Does it still charge? It still charges. I can just put it in my backpack. Hopefully it won't charge in there. Yeah, it stopped. Good. And you'll be gaining. Yeah, well. Yeah, you are gaining again. Fine. So we need to wait for the injectors to finish over here in the mining world. Okay, so our advanced charm or advanced dislocator is now working. So you can see in my inventory I've got the ender pearls. I've just grabbed it from the mining world. So we're just going to add some fuel into there. That's a full stack of ender pearls, and it's got 64 fuel. Now I clicked on this top slot and pressed set here. So it's now got this, so we can rename that to home for argument's sake. And then if we just go to, let's say, the Nether, and wait for that to appear. There we go. And we can shift right click and go to, we need to basically change the slot. Let me just lock that one in place. And we need to add a new one, and let's call it the Nether. There we go. And we're gonna lock this one as well. And then we'll have an end in other places as well. But if I just right click here, whoops, that used up some fuel. Uses one ender pearl. Let's change it, shift right click, change to the home, and then we can just right click and get back home no matter where we are. However, you know, it will use up some fuel each time. Now I don't know a way to mass add fuel for this. I wish there was a way to do that, but in the meantime I can just go around to our farm and we can get a couple of stacks and I can just click them in manually, unless there is a way to do... Don't right click with this thing in your inventory. Yeah, we can just rearrange them. There's not much else there. And can we just shift? We can. We can just shift on add fuel. Cool. So we've got plenty of fuel available in our dislocator. And if we ever need to get home, I can have this set to home and I don't need to worry about it in my inventory. Now, I also need the bow. Where did I put my bow? Did I put it in here? Or is it in one of my... there it is. Yep, I took it because it was recharging, wasn't it? So I had to put it in there. It's carrying on charging now. So we've got some enchants we can do, and we can use the enchanter block from Ender.io so that we don't have to necessarily go hunt for them off armor. So if we have a look at what enchants we can do, let's take a look at the book and quill and right click on the enchanter. So there's a few things we can go for. I want to say I want to go for Soulbound first if possible, just as that's the most important. I don't want to lose it, so having that available is good. Reaper is also quite nice because you get mob souls if you have Reaper, and that's used for other things, so we will have to get there. Can I not get Soulbound? If necessary, we'll grab it off Soulbound 3. I wonder what the difference is between each of those. Soulbound 3... okay, it's showing me recipes but not for Soulbound. That would be nice. Are you in here? Looting we have, so we probably want that as well. Soulbound, we need ender crystals. Do I have ender crystals? That needs a soul binder. You know what? Why don't we just create a disenchanter? I think I've got Soulbound somewhere. Let's have a look. Soulbound, I don't have anything there, so disenchanter. We need 2 enchanted books for it. Doesn't really much matter which enchant though, so I can craft 2 up. Okay, so now I've got the disenchanter. We've got that set up with some books, and I've got fire protection 2, Soulbound 3, and we can extract. I want to extract that. We require 20 levels. Okay, so that's pretty simple to arrange. That's decreasing that quite significantly, though. I'm going to have to get some other way of getting XP at some point, but there's 20 levels. Let's extract you. And we've got Soulbound 3, which we can then apply, presumably, with a bow. And we need 3 levels. That's enough. And we have a Soulbound 3 bow. Okay. Now, the advantage of that is that it will not drop after death. However, there is a chance that that Soulbound level will decrease. There is the Soulbound enchant itself from Ender.io, however, I think is permanent. But let's see what this pack does. Book and quill, isn't it? Book and quill. Let's head over to here again. Is this actually the same one? If it's the same one, then it's not a separate enchant and I don't have to worry about it. Soulbound. This one, yeah, it's not 1, 2, or 3. It's a different enchant entirely. So that's fine, but that would take ender crystals, which I need soul vials of enderman and vibrant crystals, and we'd have to craft vibrant alloy, and yeah, we'll do it later at some point. An enchant that will wear out eventually is fine. I don't expect to die too many times, so that's pretty good. Infinity, we're going to want to have that done as well. So book and quill, we need some grades of infinity and some lapis, and I need 17 levels. Okay, I may be under this shower for a while, at least to get all of these enchants on here, but this one shouldn't be too bad. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, and we've got infinity. Now I'm going to need 1 arrow, but that's not so much of a big deal. Let's just actually get a few more levels, and it's going to be 4. Fine. All right, and then we can add more to it. I mean, whatever we like, really, at that point. It's still terrible attack damage. I think you do you need 1 arrow? Do you? No, you don't. I always thought you needed 1 arrow. It's just making arrows from, well, infinity. So I'm going to go and then look at the upgrade keys. they should be relatively simple to make. So let's just go for the arrow damage. So we're going to need draconic cores for this, aren't we? So let's just make 6 of them. And I'm going to need to make an arrow, which needs, surprisingly, feathers. Which I do have, just not here. Let's get a whole stack of them. Not that we'll need that many, but that's not really a problem. There we go. And pop you in. And just have 4 arrows with us. Fair enough. Upgrade key. Let's grab the arrow damage. The draw speed needs a bow. And what does the other one need? Another arrow. Fine, that's not a problem. And you. And why don't we just have a look at what's the RF capacity, I suppose we should look at. That's going to need a couple more draconic cores. And it's going to be Wyvern energy core, which is going to need another draconic core. Fair enough. Upgrade key RF capacity. There we go. So we've got the 4 upgrade keys. Each of those is then used with a bunch of other stuff. So we're going to have the Wyvern stuff. So I'm going to need Nether Stars, draconic cores, emeralds, and Wyvern cores. And I won't show you the charging of this, but you get the idea. We're just going to put the bow in the middle, apply all these around the outside with the key, and away it goes. So I'm just going to take, if we're going to get 4 of these upgrades done, I'm going to need like 8 emeralds, 8 draconic cores, 8 nether stars, and 4 wyvern cores. Assuming they're all the same actual, they look all the same. Yeah, they look all the same. Okay, so nether stars. And they're building up quite nicely, so I need 8 of them. And we should be able to just put multiple in the slots around the outside in the injectors. So emeralds are going to be straightforward. And draconic cores. Oops, helps if you spell draconic right. We've got 163 of those now. I've put multiple cloches in place to get us more draconic ingots. So I want draconic cores, don't I? So we're going to need 4 of the wyverns, which means 16 of these, I think. So let's see if I've got enough gold for that. And I want the upgrade, don't I? Wyvern core. Let's just look for wyvern. Wyvern core. So 4 of you. And then it was going to be 8 more of the draconic core, isn't it? So let's see if we've got enough for that. Ooh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, and we've got everything we need. Let's put the arrow away, except for lots of power. I'll cut this bit out, but you know, you get the idea. However, remember that you can stack them in the same injector. So I will just show you that bit. So the wyvern cores, because we're doing the same type of thing, can go in there, all of them. The draconic cores and these we need to separate into stacks of 4, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't really much matter how you arrange this. 5, and then I think the key is last. 7, need 8 items. So let's say the arrow damage is the first key. The bow goes in the middle. Hopefully it will be compatible. Previous level must be applied first. What's the... Oh. Right, we need to do 2 tiers of this stuff. Yeah, so if I just look at the upgrade keys. So we can actually continually upgrade these. It's more than 1. Yeah, so we have to go through this basic tier first. Doesn't take very much, but we're going to need basically 8 Eyes of Ender, 8 diamonds, 8 golden apples, and some more draconic cores. So I'm just going to grab the rest of this stuff back, and I'll go and craft those and apply them. But you get the idea. It's all the same approach, and we should be okay. Okay, the RF capacity upgrade, the last one, is actually now being crafted. So what I thought I'd do while that's actually going on is just basically go and look at, well, ooh, actually, end of growth seeds, is look at Britannia, because it looks like the artificial end portal, we can't make the end, well, I can't make the end cake, I don't think so yet, in that I sort of can make these, but I don't really have any source of milk, and it's probably best to go through the random things. as opposed to the end cake. The end cake, you just right click and it turns you to the end. Yeah, we just need some milk for that kind of approach. I don't think I have any cows remaining. Is there any cows? No, just an occasional Enderman. Okay, so let's do it via the artificial end approach. So for that we need an end rod and an evil tear. Now let's look at the evil tear first of all. Evil tear. There we go. It needs a wither skeleton skull, ender pearl, and gas tear. I went and got one of the gas tears from the nether, so that's fine. We're also going to need an end rod. And the end rod is where the problem occurs because it needs lavender quartz. Lavender quartz is from Britannia and needs us to craft through a few other things first. So lilac, for instance, it would need sunflowers, so we can just go back one. And allium would need us to go through blue orchids, which we could get through poppies, and poppies are relatively straightforward. Alchemy catalysts need some living rock, some gold, a couple of brewing stands. The brewing stands are actually not too hard to actually get to. So we do actually need to get into Britannia somehow. And that means living rock. So living rock, oops, not lysing, living rock is relatively straightforward to make. We just need stone. Well, we've got lots of that around. And a pure daisy. Pure daisies, however, we're going to need to make through a petal apothecary. And we need some petals for that to make it in the first place. Which may seem like, well, how do we get petals? Because we don't have any way to make any of this stuff. So, yellow. Do we have any... I think I'm just going to need... If I head over to the mining world, I already started bone mealing some grass. I thought I could cheat. And by that I mean just use bone meal to make various colours spawn, i.e. the lavender. Unfortunately, that's not the case. They just don't spawn out here in the mining world. Maybe they do spawn in other biomes, don't know. But out here in the mining world, we can get red and yellow, at least. Yeah, here's my creepy long trail of me trying to get other colours. So I need to find more red. 2, 3, 4, whoops. Did I actually? Oh, it's just cotton seeds. I thought I got something else purple at the time. So in here we can just craft dandelion yellow. We can craft rose red. And we've got some bone meal. So if I go into a crafting grid and something like this with this, and we get floral fertilizer. Not very much of it, but that in turn should be enough that I apply it to grass. It makes Britannia flowers. Now, they don't have to be any specific colour, but I'm probably just going to grab all the ones that I can. And we can consider it later. We'll probably need the wand of the forest or whatever it's actually called. Oops, that's not Britannia. And we can convert them straight into flowers. So we can do that. And that will then let us craft that petal apothecary and get started into Britannia. Now, Britannia is quite a big mod, but I'm not going to cover a lot of it. We're just going to use it to get to the end this episode. And I'll come into another episode if that's what people actually want. So first of all, petal apothecary. Okay, so petal. Yep, there we go. Apothecary is... I'm going to need some bits and pieces. Cobblestone slabs. Why don't we have any cobblestone? Cobble? Really? Oh, it's all compressed, that's why. Yep, now it's uncompressed. Let's just make a few slabs. And petal apothecary. Different colours as well. I quite like the fact there's different colours. Not that it much matters at the moment. And then we just need... well, that. Do I have a spare sink? I do. And let's just put these colours in here. This. And then we'll go and put this actually in our mining world. We want Britannia somewhere with nature around. Even though there is a wither killing apparatus nearby, it's still fine. We can just get... doesn't much matter for now. Let's actually put it over here close to our wither stuff. And we're just going to dig a hole. I'm not going to worry about putting a shovel or anything like that in there. Okay, so we can just put a sink in the bottom. And then we want just to grab some ender fluid conduits. Okay, put that back in my bag. And then petal apothecary on top. There we go. And we're just going to pop down. Well, you can use the Yeti wrench to edit this. Oh, it doesn't let us do that. That is... Oh, well. We'll have to just do it manually. No problem. I was hoping to just automatically insert. There is a way to do it in Botania itself, so I'm not going to complain too much. Let's just put that in there. It does help to have this close to ground level. And I'm just going to pop the sink right there. And we're going to need a bucket, which I'm probably short of. You should always carry around a bucket. Fine, no problem. 1 second. So the thing we need is white flowers. So we're going to need to get those. And the easiest way to do that is just to make more of the floral fertilizer. But we can make it in a slightly different way once we create a pestle and mortar. And we can just use the same recipe, just but with all 4 of one particular thing, like that. And hopefully that should be enough for this to continue. We're also going to need some seeds, if I remember rightly. Let's just grab a stack of those and head back over. Here we go. We can just grab a couple of the white plants. I've already got 2 there, so I'll just keep these back. And then we're going to need to drop those into Petal Apothecary. Just grab a bucket. We're going to need some water. Hopefully I don't need Wander the Forest. We shall see very shortly. Over here, so let's just fill that with water. Pop in 4 and drop in seeds. And we get a pure daisy. Pure daisies, on the other hand, we can use to turn regular rock and regular wood into living stone or living rock, whatever it is, and living wood. Of course, we have a an area we can do that in. Do I want some stone? Yeah, let's just grab some stone out of here. This is dead. Why are you dead? Probably something to do with power. Yeah. That's been drained because I've got a bow. My bow is literally hoovering all the power. Let me just put that away so that doesn't happen. It should stop. Or at least bring the power back. Yep, you're active again. Good. What was I actually even doing then? Yes, stone. Okay. Let's just grab a few bits and pieces. In fact, we probably don't even need to do that. We've got plenty around. I could just put some dirt down, but yeah, actually, let's just put our living. Yeah, let's put our pure daisy down. There we go, and we just surround it with stone. Takes about a minute, and this then converts into living rock. And we could think about changing it some living wood as well. Wood. Whoops. Wood. And we can do the same thing. Not that I'm going to need a Wand of the Forest just yet, but that's what we're going to make with the living wood. I'm just going to need some of the stone, first of all, to make a mana pool. From our loot bags, we got a Black Lotus, and that will let us fill said mana pool with some stuff. We're also going to need a couple of brewing stands. So let's take a look at, it's the Alchemy Catalyst, I think. Yep, what have we got? We need one brewing stand, and that needs some cobble, which we've got. So that just needs 4 living rock. Okay, are you converted yet? Not yet. Let's wait for it to finish off camera. Transformation complete, and we should be able to just, yep, vein mine or the equivalent. And I'm going to actually need to put more down because, whoops, because that needs a little bit more. We're going to need 5 for the basically the container for the mana, and we're going to need some more for this, because this catalyst is going to let us change one thing into another. So let's get rid of you for a second. And now I just need one more piece of living rock, and we're good to go, I think. Mana pool is the name of the container. And there's like an introductory type, diluted, and a regular type. And we're just going to skip to the regular type. Slightly cheaper if you get living rock slabs, but yeah. Ooh, what do we take for those? Those are shimmer rock. I'm not going to cover those for now. We just need that last piece of living rock. Then we're going to take our Black Lotuses and be able to fill it. You need to put this Alchemy Catalyst underneath, and then we can transform everything we need. So let's just... Ooh, that should be nearly done. 1 second. Here we go. We have a mana pool, and we should probably put that out in the outside area for no other reason than it helps. That's just the way Britannia is sort of set up. So let's just put it here for now. And if we just drop some, oops, I need to just put this underneath, don't I? Whoops, forgot about that. Alchemy Catalyst underneath, and let's just put the ground back. And then we can just step on and drop a Black Lotus in, I would have thought. No. That's not nice. Does it affect whether the Alchemy Catalyst is underneath? Let's just take a look. Black Lotus. I thought they recharge things. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the Black Lotus. Or there's no way to craft either one, apparently. Okay, so I guess we've got to get mana some other way. That's not great. That requires more work. There we go. Maybe I had better get into that cow approach. We'll see. Let's see if I can actually get some mana into this pool. Yeah, I'm forgetting you actually need to have mana in the pool already before it'll actually work. So for that, we'll just need to get some way of recharging this. So I just need that bucket again. We're just going to make an Ender Flame, I think. Sort of, it's a way of getting mana without too much of an effort. And we're just going to want 1 seed. There we go. Ender Flame, and we're going to need a spreader. And that's where we need the living wood. And the Wand of the Forest, I would imagine. So let's just go and get that, because I always forget how to assign a mana spreader to a mana pool. It's one of those things that I am just very bad at. Where's my axe? There we go. Okay, so Wand of the Forest. It doesn't matter what colour petals you actually use for this. So I'm going to use a common colour. I just need twigs, which is 2 living wood. And okay, that's only 1 twig for each of those. So I'm going to need 3. And then we're going to need more living wood. So I'm going to put some more of you back down again. And we'll get another batch, and that should be enough to get everything started, I think. That means I'm going to need some petals. Doesn't matter what colour, as long as they're both the same. So let's go for blue. There we go, Wand of the Forest. And let's put this other stuff away. The poppies I will keep. Everything else I will keep out, I think, for now. Put both of those away. Okay. Are you converted yet? Nearly. Let's wait for those. And with that done, we just want a mana spreader. There we go. Regular one will do the job. It doesn't much matter, you know, what colour petal we use again for it. Not that concerned. Let's head out, and then I can get this wrong, as I normally do. So let's give it a try. I'm just going to put a spreader around, let's say, here, and then drop a... where's my Ender Flame? There it is. And then we just want something burnable. In this case, I'm just going to use a block of coal. That should get picked up by the Ender Flame. And then we have to use our Wand of the Forest. And we'll see whether it's actually... that is feeding to... there we go. It is actually working by default. Good. And then we can drop in some Black Lotuses. So drop those. And... yeah, that's beginning to fill. I'm not sure how many it's going to take to transform our poppies. It shouldn't be very much, so let's just drop 1. And that's changing into Blue Orchid. Drop it again. Change it to Allium. I'm going to do the same thing twice more. Well, it's once more even. And that should be enough Lavender Quartz for us to build the End Rod, which should give us the portal, or the ability to make the portal. So the End Rod can then come in. End Rod. Lavender Quartz. Oh, that makes 8. We need 1 flower, I guess. And we get 2 end rods. Fair enough. And let's put everything else back. So we need the end tier. We need the stone. We can throw all of that back in. I don't need the allium. I'll take the bucket with me. Why not? Don't need seeds or black lotus or wand of the forest. Everything else can go away. So we're now ready to go and build our portal, the end portal. There we go. And I'm going to put it just behind my nether portal. I shouldn't need it beyond, you know, the first time we go through. So here's our mining world portal, our original. Here's our end one. The sorry, nether one. The end portal needs a little bit more room, I think. It needs 5 by 5, and we need to make it out of obsidian. So if I just go in 3 here, if we have our portal, if we want it here, then that's going to interfere with that portal. So it's going to have to go right there. And I think I'm going to have to channel out these blocks like this. Hopefully that should not interfere. Okay, and then we're going to want to also take out these. Then I'm going to put the end stone in the bottom. We're going to put the obsidian around the outside. I think this is going to be 5 on one side, 5 on the other. 3 here, 3 here. And then I'm going to need to put a block up there, I think, with the... well, we'll see if this actually works. I'm going to need one more piece of end stone, I think. I'm not sure how many blocks above it needs to be. It's either 2 or 3. End stone. Let's just grab, yeah, a few. That will do fine. And let's see what this is going to need. Oops, in here we go. And before I do that, do I have everything I need? Where's my bow? My bow's in here. I need to configure it. Yep, forgot to do that part, or at least I've done it partially. Press C, but you may want to check for conflicts, whatever you've set it to. You'll get into this interface. We can click on the bow, and then we can decide what the base damage is, the velocity modifier, so I can do that. Both of those combined control the damage, whether it will explode, and magnification if you want to zoom in and stuff like that. Auto fire, etc. It is pretty good as is, and it is already starting to deplete my base's power supply. So why don't I just put a piece of endstone there? And is that the right distance? Let's right click with an evil tier. No. So maybe one further up. Unless it needs to be, you know, freestanding. That's another option. Or unless there needs to be more, you know, free space around. But that shouldn't be hard to figure out. Let's try you. That's took it looks like. So there we go. The portal's starting to form. I'm going to put some of this other stuff back in here. I'm not going to need that. I shouldn't need the dev null either, but I will just leave it in my inventory for now. And I will just make sure my tools are all stored safely. There we go. These have all got... oh, actually, did I forget? I did put soulbound on all the tinkers as well as all my armor. It's all got various levels of soulbound, so we should be pretty safe. And that's slightly trippy. So, are we ready to go to the end? First of all, I'm going to take my dislocator home back out again, and we'll put the dislocator home here. Yeah, that's the overworld. So we'll pop in, place down our dislocator pedestal, place the way home on it, and then we should be safe. In we go. And here we are in the end. So while we get started, let's put that down. And I'm also going to just bind this one that is now bound. We can put it into our system. Looks like our system's actually dead because of everything being charged constantly, but that's because it's not taking any more inputs. That's fine. And I also want to just use this one to take a position of right here. So add a new one, call this the end, and commit. And there we go. So if we want to go on to the end, we can get back onto this platform. There is no issue with that. And now we've got above the Wyvern, and we've got a dragon to go and hunt. Well, let's just go and have a look. It's going to be around somewhere, but first of all, yeah, there it is. We've got to take care of the things on top of the pillars as normal. And why aren't you working? Why don't we take care of these on top of this platform? I also kept some of these EFLNs, they're explosives, and let's see if that will actually take care of them. It gets me through the fight a little bit easier. There we go. I can't use this for the main Ender Dragon itself, but I can use them for taking care of stuff like this. I do like the Ender Dragon fight. It's often fun. I think that's it all taken care of. And chop the dragon down. There it goes. First of all, Dragon Heart is what we want. Everything else will have dropped to the floor, but let's pick everything up. I should have my magnetism on. So I haven't put looting on this sword, however, but we have enough dragon scales to make it not matter. And we're going to want the Dragon Heart. So that is, well, once it finishes, that's the dragon killed. And we have enough to, oops, there's a Dragon Heart. We have enough to resurrect it should we need to. However, we should get Awakened Draconium with this, which will then let us make more Awakened Draconium. But that's for another episode. And we now can head home. And that's the entire, well, that's the start of the end done, at least for this episode. We need to do more stuff in there, but we have the dragon killed now. So we're on the way on to our next upgrades. Okay, hope you enjoyed the episode. This is now draining my system of all power again. So I need to figure out exactly what the glitching is going on with the Bow of the Wyvern. It's not terribly amazing at the moment, mainly because of the lack of power being able to send to it, I think. So we'll have to come back and solve that one out. Maybe next time, maybe the time after. Okay, feel free to like, subscribe, share if you've enjoyed the episode. I know we've got a lot of stuff done getting to the end and then quite very quickly at the end, so to speak. But next time, we'll see about more stuff on top of that. So, as always, guys, feel free to join me for some more StoneBlock next time. And as always, thanks for watching.